Hello, good day. How are you today? You're good, right? Okay, so are you ready for today's lesson? Today's lesson in agricultural science, we are going to be learning about types of agricultural practice. Okay, today's lesson is on types of agricultural practice. That is our topic. Our topic for today in agricultural science is types of agricultural practice. Okay, so are we ready to get into today's lesson? We're going to be knowing about the different types of agricultural practice. Okay, first we have pastoral farming. Pastoral farming refers to a type of agriculture focused on raising livestock, such as cows, sheep, and goats, for various agricultural products like meat, milk, and wool. It often takes place in rural areas where animals graze on open fields and pastures. In pastoral farming, the primary activity is animal husbandry, which is taking care of animals. In pastoral farming, the animals are the most important part. People take care of them for their products. Pastoralists move with their herds to find fresh grass and water. They are always moving to find fresh grass and water. Many pastoral farming methods have been passed down through generations and is well suited to the local environment. The animals provide things like meat for food, milk for drinking, and making products like cheese and wool for clothing. You will find pastoral farming in places where it is hard to grow crops because there isn't much rain. The focus is on using the land for animals. Some pastoralists don't have a permanent home. They always stay in temporary places or have a tent. They live in a tent because they have to follow their herds. And people in pastoral communities work together to manage their herds and resources. So pastoral farming is important in many parts of the world, especially where the environment is dry. It's challenging to grow crops there. So it helps people get the things they need from animals and the land. So pastoral farming just focuses on raising livestock for agricultural products. Okay? That is on pastoral farming. Okay? Then the next one we have is arable farming. Arable farming is a type of agriculture focused on the cultivation of crops in open fields or on farmland. In arable farming, the primary goal is to grow plants rather than raising livestock. Common crops commonly cultivated in arable farming include wheat, corn, barley, and various vegetables. Arable farmers prepare the soil and plant seeds to grow various crops. These crops are typically used for human consumption, animal feed, or industrial purposes. To maintain soil fertility and prevent the depletion of nutrients, arable farmers often practice crop rotation. This means changing the type of crop grown in a particular field each season. Okay, arable farming relies heavily on machinery such as tractors and plows to prepare the soil, plant seeds, and harvest crops efficiently. Depending on the region and climate, arable farming may involve irrigation to provide water to crops. Farmers also use various methods to protect crops from pests and diseases. Crops are harvested when they reach maturity. This involves cutting or uprooting the plants and collecting the produce. Okay, so arable farming is crucial to provide food and raw materials for various industries, human consumption. It is an essential component of modern agriculture. It plays a significant role in feeding the world's population. Okay, so this is on arable farming. Okay, arable farming, it focuses on growing plants rather than livestock. Do we get that? We understand that, right? Good. The next one we have mixed farming. Mixed farming is an agricultural practice that combines the cultivation of crops with the raising of livestock on the same farm. This type of farming is aimed at achieving a balance between plant and animal production to create a sustainable and diversified agricultural system. So in mixed farming, farmers grow crops like wheat, corn, vegetables, while also raising animals like cows, sheep, or chickens on the same farm. Mixed farming allows farmers to have diversify their incomes, to have different sources of incomes, and reduce the risks associated with relying solely on one particular crop or livestock production. Animal manure from livestock can be used to fertilize the field, which helps improve soil fertility for crop production. Mixed farming requires careful planning and management since both plants and animals aspects of farm needs attention. Farmers must balance the needs of both to be successful. Okay? Mixed farming can be environmentally friendly and reduce the need for synthetic fertilizers. Okay, so mixed farming is an agricultural practice that contributes to environmental cleanness. Okay, so mixed farming is all about the cultivation of crops with raising of livestock on the same farm. Do we understand that? Is the cultivation of crops and also raising of livestock on the same farm. That is on mixed farming. Okay, then we also have shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is a traditional farming method used by some indigenous communities in different parts of the world. Farmers choose a forested area, clear a portion of land, and burn the vegetation. This process provides ash, which can act as a natural fertilizer. After burning, farmers plant crops like maize, millet, or root vegetables in cleared areas. These crops are cultivated until the soil's fertility decreases. Okay? When the soil fertility decreases or pests and diseases become a problem, farmers abandon the plots and move to a new area. The old plot is left to fallow and gradually reverts to forest. So shifting cultivation is a circle where farmers move from one plot to another. This allows the previous use plot to recover while new areas are cultivated. Okay, we understand that shifting cultivation is a sustainable farming method. Is it okay? Primarily intended to feed the farmer's family rather than commercial purpose. So it's a subsistence farming method. Okay, so shifting cultivation is all about moving from one plot of farming land to another. Okay, do we understand that? We do, right? Then we also have crop rotation. Crop rotation is an agricultural practice where farmers grow variety of crops in a particular field over a defined period. Okay, in each growing season, farmers choose a different type of crop to plant in a field. For example, they might plant corn one year, followed by soya beans the next year, and then wheat in the third year. So it's the planting of different types of crops in one field over a defined period. Okay? Okay. So crop rotation is a fundamental practice in modern agriculture to maintain soil fertility and reduce negative impacts of repeated planting of the same crop. Farmers often plan crop rotation based on local climate, soil condition, and types of crop they want to grow. This practice is essential for sustainable agriculture as it helps prevent soil degradation, improve yields, and reduce environmental impacts. So crop rotation is widely used in both large-scale commercial farm and small farm, family-owned farm. Okay, do we understand that? So crop protection is the growing of different crops in different seasons. Okay, we understood that, right? So today's lesson, which is on agricultural practices, the types of agricultural practices, we talked about pastoral farming, arable farming, mixed farming, shifting cultivation, and crop rotation. And we explained each, right? Where we said pastoral farming is the rearing of livestock only, right? And arable farming is cultivating of crops instead of livestock, right? Then we said mixed farming is both cultivating of crops and rearing of livestock. We said all that, right? We also talked about shifting cultivation, where you use the plot of land to cultivate and the next season you use another plot like that. Changing of plots. We talked about that, right? Then we also talked about crop rotation, where we said is the planting of different crops of during different seasons, right? We said all that, right? So now we know the different types of agricultural practice. Do we? Okay, that is good. So we are going to be moving over to our assignment, okay? One, we have list and explain the different types of agricultural practice. We did that, so I'm sure you'll be able to answer it, right? Good. Compare between shifting cultivation and crop rotation. It's easy, right? Good. Okay.